My husband harbored a desire. And I replied in the affirmative. The atmosphere was dense, vibrating with expectation. His gaze lingered, unwavering and charged with intensity. He had exercised patience, lingering in the shadows, restraining himself, but that time had come to an end. As I pivoted, our gazes locked. He was no longer merely an observer. I raised my fingers, a subtle beckoning. His breath hitched, his muscles coiled with anticipation, and then he rose to his feet. Before we dive in, I kindly ask you to take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It costs nothing, requires just a moment, and offers more assistance than you might realize. Furthermore, you will always stay updated with the next tale. Let us embark on this journey together. His hands lingered at my waist, drawing me near as our bodies swayed in unison. With each profound inhalation and every delicate shift, a gentle warmth enveloped my skin, infused with a persistent vitality. "Don't stop," I whispered, my voice scarcely rising above a breath. The tension between us escalated, hanging in the air until my body finally surrendered, melting against his. He exhaled slowly, drawing me near as we embraced the serene solace of the moment. For a time, we simply reclined together, the warmth that enveloped us remaining palpable. His fingers moved in languid circles across my back, his chest rising and falling in a rhythmic cadence, yet the silence held an unfamiliar weight. I tilted my head ever so slightly, observing him intently. "You remain silent." He released a gentle laugh, lost in thought. A sly smile played on my lips as my fingertips brushed against his skin. "What is it about?" His momentary pause was subtle, yet I perceived it. What a remarkable experience that was. I chuckled gently, nestling against him. Indeed, it was. My fingers wandered aimlessly, creating delicate patterns upon his skin. "Have you ever considered the possibility of enhancing it further?" His breath caught momentarily. "Improved?" I rested on one elbow, observing him intently. "We've always embraced adventure, but what if we ventured even deeper?" For a fleeting moment, his body grew taut. It was understated, yet I perceived it. That only deepened my intrigue. "Come now," I urged, tilting my head slightly. "I am aware that it crossed your mind." Our eyes locked, a spark dancing in the depths of his gaze. A moment of stillness. After a prolonged exhale, he finally found his voice. "There is something," he confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. I raised an eyebrow, a sense of anticipation twisting within me. "Share your thoughts with me." He swept his fingers through his hair. "I wish for you to encounter something truly unique." I blinked, momentarily caught off guard. "Distinct?" His lips parted, as if weighing each word with deliberation, then at last, "Yes, but not another man. A lady." The words hung in the air, dense and palpable, creating a weighty silence between us. I swallowed, feeling my pulse race with intensity. The sensation swelling within my chest left me uncertain. Was it merely nerves, or something far more perilous lurking beneath the surface? I parted my lips, yet silence enveloped me, for uncertainty clouded my emotions. The thought lingered, refusing to be dismissed. It wrapped around me, infiltrating my thoughts at the most unexpected moments. Reclining in bed, I navigated the motions of my morning routine, even as I attempted to divert my attention elsewhere. His words ignited a flame within me that I could not overlook. Initially, it seemed utterly ridiculous. This was a notion I had never entertained before. The notion of sharing intimacy with another woman, particularly under his gaze, ought to have been simple to reject. Yet, it was not. As I pondered further, the initial oddity began to fade away. Curiosity slinked in, subtle yet unwavering. The notion itself had a way of persisting in the mind. It was in the way he gazed at me, the potential shift it could create in our relationship. Could it be so? The question hung in the air longer than I cared to acknowledge. Uncertainties lingered at the periphery of my enthusiasm. What if I pursued it and found myself enjoying it far too much? What if it caused him to perceive me in a new light? What if it transformed my perception of who I am? It was as if one were crossing the threshold into the realm of the unfamiliar. An outcome that eluded my complete foresight. And yet, beneath the veil of uncertainty, an undercurrent of something else began to awaken, a subtle excitement. A sensation that remained with me whenever it crossed my mind. He had longed for this, it was evident beyond doubt. In all honesty, I found myself yearning to understand the sensation of granting him his desires. Though the hesitation lingered, it proved insufficient to deter my resolve. I intended to follow through with it. Uncertainty clouded my mind, yet amidst the haze, one truth stood resolute. This had transcended mere fantasy for him. At that moment, it belonged to me as well. The subsequent days unfolded in a haze. I reminded myself to refrain from overanalyzing it. The choice had been made. Yet, as I pressed on, the anticipation swelled within me. Each fleeting look exchanged, each light brush of fingers heightened the thrill of the moment. I wasn't merely acquiescing to his daydream. I was seizing the reins of it. Once I had everything in place, the nerves dissipated, giving way to a rush of exhilaration, thrilling excitement. Finding the ideal individual, at the opportune moment, in the most exquisite manner to unveil it. And now, all that remained was to observe his response. That morning, as we lingered in bed, I turned to face him, my fingers delicately mapping gentle patterns across his skin. He lingered in a state of half-sleep, his breath a slow and steady rhythm, oblivious to the tempest that raged within me. I leaned in, my voice a gentle whisper yet resolute. Please ensure you're home by 8 this evening, without any questions, just trust me on this. His eyes fluttered open, a languid smile playing at the corners of his mouth. What unfolds at 8? Our eyes locked, lingering for a moment to allow curiosity to take root. Just wait and see. His brows arched ever so slightly, yet I could sense the curiosity begin to captivate him. He felt the urge to inquire further, yet he understood me too well to believe I would relent. At last, he uttered, extending his limbs as he released a breath. I shall remain here. Excellent, for by the time night fell, his dream would transcend mere imagination. The evening arrived sooner than I had anticipated. I encountered him at the threshold, my heartbeat unwavering. Yet, lurking just beneath the surface, a quiet hum stirred within me. A sense of expectancy, a flutter of anxiety, an indescribable feeling lingering just beyond my grasp. Unaware of what lay ahead, he found himself swept up in a thrilling anticipation. His brow arched ever so slightly as I grasped his hand, presenting nothing beyond a shared, understanding smile. Follow me, I whispered, guiding him along the corridor. The door stood slightly ajar, a soft glow spilling into the hallway. As we crossed the threshold, a palpable change enveloped us, the air crackling with energy, heavy with anticipation. And then he beheld her. She sat waiting, elegantly perched on the edge of the bed, her demeanor effortless, exuding a confidence that unmistakably signaled her rightful place in that moment. Her eyes danced over him for a moment before locking onto me, an enigmatic glimmer passing through her gaze. I noticed the deliberate breath my husband drew in, observed the subtle tension that coursed through his body. He wasn't merely observing, he was taking in every nuance, contemplating the significance of it all, pondering what was on the brink of unfolding. And then she shifted. Her fingers grazed my wrist initially, a mere whisper of contact, then ventured higher, gliding up my arm with intention and a playful allure. I instinctively turned toward her, captivated, my breath hitching as her hands glided over my skin. There was an air of novelty surrounding this, a sense of the unknown that was both captivating and exhilarating. The initial kiss was gentle, unhurried, a cautious touch of lips, probing, before evolving into something deeper. My body reacted instinctively, leaning into her touch, my hands exploring their way to her waist, savoring the warmth of her skin beneath my fingertips. A soft breath escaped from behind me, measured and deliberate, yet unmistakable. I didn't need to glance back to sense his gaze, to understand that he was experiencing every moment of this as intensely as I was. We lingered, relishing the gradual unfolding. Her hands danced with intent, weaving beneath the fabric, leading me gradually into a realm more profound. Each touch ignited a wave of warmth within me, the gradual unfolding of discovery causing me to tremble, and then she stepped forward with confidence. Her lips departed from mine, following a languid, intentional journey, relishing each caress. The feeling of my shirt slipping away barely registered, as fingers brushed lightly against my newly revealed skin. Each movement was deliberate, seamless, as though she were in perfect harmony with every reaction I offered. Her lips brushed against my collarbone initially, then descended, following the contour of my torso with intentional tenderness. My breath caught as she navigated with deliberate grace, the feeling coursing through me like a jolt of electricity. A delicate, lingering caress at my hips ignited a shiver within me, my body responding with instinctive fervor. There was no urgency, only the meticulous unfolding of expectation, a gradual rise in warmth that left me breathless, and then her touch became more deliberate. A wave of warmth enveloped me, causing my breath to falter. My breath became erratic, each movement pulling me deeper, enveloped in the myriad sensations surrounding me. Her rhythm remained unwavering, a consistent tempo that layered upon itself, each intentional movement holding me captive in the present. A distant sound, low and strained, pierced through the haze, prompting me to turn my head slightly, my vision fading at the peripheries. My beloved partner. He remained in the chair, though just on the edge of consciousness. His hands clutched the arms firmly, his chest rising and falling with deliberate control. His eyes were fixed on me, his face a mask of inscrutability, yet every aspect of him, his stance, the tautness of his frame, communicated a wealth of unspoken words. He was on the brink of unraveling. The atmosphere hung heavy, laden with a silent comprehension. He was no longer a mere observer, he was ensnared in this as deeply as I was. Our eyes locked, my fingers extending toward him, the gesture subtle yet intentional. It was merely an invitation, a subtle recognition that his presence held significance, equal to all else in that moment. His hands relaxed, his body coiled with tension, and then, at last, he rose to his feet. As he advanced, the atmosphere in the room transformed. The moment he approached, I sensed it, a palpable weight in the air, the warmth radiating from his skin drawing nearer. His hands settled on my waist, fingers pressing in gently, igniting a subtle thrill within me. As I raised my gaze, I found his eyes locked onto mine, deep and intense, brimming with an unvoiced emotion. In that moment, his lips met mine. The kiss lingered, rich with unspoken emotions, a gradual draw, a gentle yielding. I melted against him, enveloped by his warmth as his fingers traced my back. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice soft against my lips. A chill coursed through me, not merely from his words, but from the manner in which he uttered them. This moment encapsulated all he had ever desired. Then she stirred, a subtle movement on the bed, her presence palpable even before I turned to look. She observed him, observed us, a gradual, understanding smile gracing her lips. Her gaze held no hesitation, no uncertainty. It was a quiet confidence that enveloped the moment as she leaned in, her fingers gliding over his stomach, descending lower until a sharp exhale escaped his lips. I remained transfixed as she pressed her lips along his skin, her fingers wandering, tantalizing. My lips lingered on his, my fingers entwined in his hair, sensing the subtle tremor that coursed through him. His breath came in deeper, more measured gasps, his body responding to each subtle shift she made. His fingers gripped my back with increasing intensity as she honed in, a low sound emanating from his throat. His breath faltered as it brushed against my lips. His reaction coursed through me like a jolt of electricity, the tension in his body palpable, his fingers gripping my hips as if seeking an anchor in the storm of his emotions. It was mesmerizing to behold, to sense his response to each deliberate motion, every change in his breath, and then I flowed alongside her. I let my kisses wander down his jawline, gliding along his neck, savoring the warmth of his pulse against my lips. We descended further until I found myself beside her, our movements intertwining in a quiet communion of understanding. His head tilted back, breath hitching, ensnared in the fleeting instant we shared. Each sound he uttered ignited a new surge of warmth within me, intensifying the moment and drawing me further into its embrace. The tension emanated from him, his hands clenching the sheets tightly. Our journey was far from over. A transition, a movement in stance. She lay on the bed now, beneath me, her breath a warm whisper against my skin. Her hands enveloped me, directing my form with a gentle precision, a quick breath escaping my lips as she commenced. My fingers entwined with the sheets as waves of sensation surged within me. Deliberate, tantalizing caresses, pulling me into depths, causing my head to tilt back. And then, he pressed his weight against her, releasing a deep exhale as he moved with purpose. A soft gasp slipped from her lips, her breath catching against my skin. Every movement resonated through me, his presence unwavering, resolute. The intensity of it was unmistakable. His hands anchored her, each movement eliciting a response within me. The warmth of her breath, the gentle touch of her hands, the soft caress of her lips upon my skin. The experience overwhelmed me, a heady blend of sensations that quickened my heartbeat. Yet it was he who unraveled me, the intensity of his gaze upon me. His gaze fixed on me, deep and laden with intensity. Each movement he made sent a shiver through us both, yet it was his unwavering gaze, the way he reached for me, that truly captivated. His fingers grazed my skin, while his lips enveloped mine. That was the moment that unraveled me entirely. My body tightened, my breath halted, and the feeling washed over me in surges. I found myself in the company of others. He let out a deep groan, his grip tightening, his body quaking as the moment enveloped him. His voice hung in the air, deep and gravelly, uttering my name. And then, there was silence. His forehead rested against mine, his breath lingering in an uneven rhythm. A languid, contented breath escaping from his mouth. A soft, breathy chuckle escaped my lips, my fingers remaining entwined in the sheets. I tilted my head just enough, my lips grazing his ear softly. Joyful, his arms encircled me, drawing me near as he placed a soft, lingering kiss upon my shoulder. Beyond your understanding. Some thoughts remain hidden in the shadows of our minds, yet what if the finest among them are destined to manifest into reality? Have you ever harbored a hidden desire, one you kept locked away from the world? What transpired when you ultimately unveiled it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I have perused each and every one, and my curiosity is piqued. Before you leave, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. It costs nothing, requires just a moment, and ensures you stay updated with the next tale. Activate the notification bell to be among the first to discover when a new release arrives. If this resonated with you, consider passing it along to someone who might appreciate it as well. Thank you for tuning in. Until we meet again.